what's up guys? This is Jumpin' here, and today I'm going to be continuing my Borderlands 2 pre-release build videos, meaning that I have yet to play the game, but I will be constructing builds of which I believe will be pretty good for different characters in the game. This is using the Borderlands 2 website, the official website, so you guys can go there and check it out. Now, today I'm going to be doing AXTON, who is the Commando. And in the last game, I really loved the Soldier. He was probably my favorite one. By far, the Soldier was definitely my favorite one in the last game. But for my first playthrough, because I will be doing live Borderlands 2 commentaries with my friends, it's going to be 4 of us. And when I play it, I'm going to be using the Assassin. So I won't be using the Commando. But I really was considering using the Commando, but my buddy loves the Soldier / he loves the Commando, he loves the turret. So I'm going to let him play as that. But this build is pretty much what I would do with it. Now, first thing that AXTON gets is the Saber turret, which is actually a good turret. In the last game, the turret wasn't that great, honestly. The reason why it wasn't good was because enemies of the same level, it just didn't really do any damage to them. When you were fighting lower leveled enemies, yeah, it would wreck them. But anything of the same level, it just didn't do any damage, and that was unfortunate. Which this turret looks like it actually does do a lot of good damage, and it does a lot of good things. Now, the biggest downside to the turret is that it has a 42-second cooldown. But what you're going to be able to do is that you're going to be able to pick it up. If you pick up the turret, it will dramatically reduce your cooldown, depending on how much time you had left on the turret. So that is actually fantastic that they did that. Now, my build is going to reflect using the turret and also using just all the good skills that he gets for himself. That's my idea. So, the first thing you might notice with this build is that I do not have any of the bottom skills. Unfortunately, I just could not incorporate them in here. Once a DLC comes out and the level cap is raised, I would definitely get some of the bottom skills because they are awesome. But until then, I would say I would not go for any of them. Alright, now the first field I'm going to show you is the Gorilla field, which is primarily turret stuff. The first one is Sentry. Sentry is fantastic. This will give you more burst per shots of the turret, up to 5. So that means that every time it shoots, it's going to shoot 5 bullets instead of 1. And that is fantastic. That's going to dramatically increase the damage of the turret. And the other thing that this does is gives you a plus 10-second duration, which is definitely amazing. I believe the base duration is 20 seconds, just like the Gunzerker. I'm not too sure about that though. But all around, this is fantastic because, like I said, this will definitely help you even with cooldown. Because if you throw out the turret, let's say you throw out the turret and 5 seconds later all the enemies are dead from you and your teammates killing them, then you can pick it up, and that's great. It's going to reduce your cooldown for your next battle. Alright, moving on. I went for Laser Sight. Laser Sight, all this does is improve your accuracy of your turret plus 50%, which is pretty good. But with this build, I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things that you can do with the turret. And one of the things is that you can throw it out really far away. Now, there's certain strategies you can do with that. And if it is like somewhat further away from the enemies, I would imagine the accuracy will help dramatically. So that's the reason why I went for it. And then the final one is going to be Scorched Earth. What this does is this adds a multi-rocket pads to the turret that can shoot 22 rockets. 22 rockets per volley. Meaning that every time it shoots this rockets, it's going to shoot 22. Now, I don't know how strong the rockets are going to be or if they're even going to be good. I would imagine 22 rockets would be pretty freaking good. So I definitely would recommend trying this, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So just keep that in mind. Alright, now moving on to the middle gunpowder. This is primarily for yourself, meaning that this is just going to help you with your guns and what you're going to be able to do with your guns and not the turret. Alright, so the first one I highly recommend would be Expertise. The reason why I recommend this is because this is just amazing. This will give you a plus 70% weapon swap speed, meaning that you can change your weapon faster. A 70% aim speed, so that's a lot like, that is a lot like sleight of hand from Call of Duty, meaning that you can aim faster. So with snipers and combat rifles or anything with a scope, you're going to be able to pretty much just scope in really quickly and start shooting. I love that. And then the final thing is going to be movement speed bonus when you're aiming. That's great. That's more or less like Stalker from Modern Warfare 3. So I love the movement speed bonus because one thing about him is that he's kind of designed to use combat rifles for the most part. And if you're gonna use them, most of the time you want to aim them in. And if you aim them in, you may know that it kind of sucks because you move so slow when you aim in. So that would really help. So now you can aim in and move around. Alright, moving on is Metal Storm, which was my favorite skill in the last game, and it's even better in this game. What this does is that this is a kill skill, so after a kill you get this skill, and it's a plus 60% fire rate bonus and a plus 75% recoil reduction. The fire rate bonus is incredible. 60%, that is amazing. So after a kill, you're just going to be able to kill everything so much faster. So that's just what you gotta think about. Alright, moving on is Battlefront. I love Battlefront. I think this is going to be fantastic because obviously the way that you're going to want to use this guy, my strategy with him would be to simply just, you see enemies, you throw out your turret and you start shooting them and letting your turret shoot them. That's really the point. Like, you just throw out the turret and you start shooting them. So what this does is that when the turret is deployed, the whole duration of the turret, you're going to get a plus 30% weapon damage bonus, a plus 30% melee damage bonus, and a plus 30% grenade damage bonus. The grenade damage bonus and the gun damage bonus is definitely amazing. Because what I would do is I would throw out the turret, then start lobbing nades. And just doing a lot of damage with them and shoot the rest. And maybe in like 5 or 10 seconds, if you have a good team with you, you probably kill all the enemies. So that's how I would recommend playing with him for the most part. Moving on, it's going to be Longbow Turret. Now I highly recommend this. I think this is going to be great for two reasons. The first reason is that this actually increases the health of the turret, which is going to be important because the health of the turret is kind of questionable. I don't know if it's going to be flimsy or very powerful, but to keep your perks like your Battlefront active, you want to keep that turret alive. So I think that it being stronger and having more health, it's definitely going to help it out a lot. And the other thing is that the longbow turret effect is that you can throw it out 10,000% further, meaning that you can just throw it out really far away, obviously. And that's going to be great because here's the idea, is that there are a lot of enemies in the game will have certain critical points that you can't hit from the front. So with this, you're going to be able to throw this out behind them. A good example is spider ants. Spider ants you have to shoot in the butt. So what you can do is you can distract them from the front, throw out the turret behind them, and let the turret start shooting them in the back. So that is fantastic. I love that. And now the final one I went for is, I put 1 point into it, is Do or Die. Now a lot of people probably think this is kind of gimmicky and not going to be that great, but I actually think that this is pretty good. What it does is that when you're in Fight for Your Life, the dying screen, you're going to be able to throw grenades. That's fantastic, honestly, because you go into Fight for Your Life, you just start lobbing nades to get back up. I think that's great. And the other thing it's going to do is just give you a plus 10% grenade damage bonus and rocket launcher bonus. So, hey, why not? And you can get that up to plus 50%, and it will go good with Battlefront. So it will be a total of 40% more grenade damage with this build. Alright, now moving on to Survival. I went for Healthy. This just gives you plus 30% more maximum health. And Preparation, this gives you a plus 15% shield capacity and a plus 2% health regenerations when your shield is full. Which is great because after a battle and you get your shields back, as you're just running around doing whatever, you're going to have a constant health regeneration. So pretty much by the time that you get into the next battle, you'll pretty much have your full health back. I think that's great, personally. Alright, moving on is going to be Quick Charge, which is definitely amazing just because of the last game. I mean, I know this from the last game. What this does is after you get a kill, your shields are going to start to regenerate. And this really, really makes you hard to kill, to be honest. Or at least it makes you a lot harder to kill. Because if you can keep getting kills, you're going to keep getting your shield back. And with the turret being better now, and with him just having like Metal Storm and all this other good stuff, I think that this will really come in handy and will keep you alive longer. Next up is going to be the Phalanx Shield. Now I think this is amazing. Now the reason why this is amazing is because what you're going to be able to do with this is whenever you throw your turret out, it's going to create a bubble shield effect around the turret. I believe it's around the turret. And then what you can do is you can actually get into the shield. You and your teammates can get into the shield, and when you're in the shield, you can shoot out of the shield. That's cool. Like, you could just stand in the shield like a bubble shield and shoot out of it, which the bubble shield from Halo you couldn't do that. And enemies can't shoot through it. Now, of course, they can run in it and melee you, but hey, like, if you're fighting against guys with guns, you're going to be able to just stand in it and take no damage. So that's amazing for you and your teammates. Alright, now the final choice I went for is Madlock, which a lot of people think this ain't going to be that useful, but I would have to kind of disagree. I don't know. Like, here's the thing, is that if this doesn't work out the way I want it to, I wouldn't use it. But the way I was thinking about it is that, honestly, if you can stick the turret to a wall or the ceiling, the turret's just going to be a lot better on the ceiling. That's just the truth. Like, imagine if I was to throw out a turret in front of you, you could freaking get behind a rock, you can get behind, anything. You can get behind cover. Now, the enemies, the AI aren't going to be that smart, but there is going to be things, obstacles in the path in front of the turret where the rockets won't hit the enemy or the bullets will miss. But if you stick it to the ceiling above, it's going to hit everybody. It's just going to wreck everything. So that is how I thought about it. And I think Madlock will be pretty useful in the right situation. Now, the downside of Madlock is that you won't be able to use the shield if it's on a ceiling. At least I don't think you're going to be able to. But it's really going to be all about the situation. If enemies are behind cover, or you feel like the angle of which wouldn't be good to hit the enemies, like not a clear path, throw it behind them on a wall, or throw it on the ceiling, and you'll be able to mow them down with it. And if the enemies are more open, or if you just feel like you're going to die, or you want to just use it for your teammates, just throw it out in front of you, and you'll be fine. Alright, so this has been my accent build. If I was going to go for any of the bottom skills, though, I would definitely go for Gemini, just saying. This gives you 2 turrets. And I really wanted to incorporate this in there, but it's just really hard to get down to that feel without me feeling like I was wasting points on something that I didn't really want. That's how I feel about the builds. Is I want every skill in the game I want. I want to want the skill for my build and not have to be forced to pick something I don't like. So that's just my opinion on it. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this. Please like this video if you liked it. And remember to subscribe for all Borderlands 2 content. I'm going to be doing live commentaries. I will be playing as the assassin. And it should be really funny and really awesome. But besides that, guys, have a nice day.